Got him. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Maybe next time you won't lose. Let me go ahead and see that. Yes, sir. The military, they told us to double tap. As pink as you're gonna be after all these shots. .com. I told you should have read my article on Blake Bortles. Paintballs and cooking steaks.
Y'all want a medium rare?
Keep them going.
Idiot! Stop coming in last. Choose Dynasty Wise, the team that is always working for yours.
Welcome, everybody, to the Dynasty Wise Fantasy Football Podcast. Please check us out at, I feel like I'm coming in, like, relaxed, you know? Like, welcome, everybody.
You should.
Welcome to the soft hour of Dynasty Wise Fantasy Football Podcast.
Took you a good pill.
Yeah, right? Hey, anyway, now I'm just totally lost, but check us out at dynastywise.com. We also are on Facebook. We have a Google Plus page. We're still trying to figure out Google Plus. Who uses it? We do. Other people do.
Why not?
We are everywhere.
And then Clayton helped me out. DynastyWise _ Clay.
No, just DynastyWise Clay.
DynastyWise Clay. DynastyWise _ Joe.
Yes.
And then DynastyWise _ Chad.
No, not Chad, because...
It's just DynastyWise Chad?
Yeah.
All right. You get to check out those. You know, they're very active on our Twitter.
DynastyWise _ FF.
Yeah, for our main thing. But and also here on YouTube, we'd like to hear your comments and questions down below. You can tell us suck. You can say that host really screwed up the beginning.
Hand me my water, Clay.
Pat wants his water. But anyway, last week or whatever we did, we're talking rookie quarterbacks. Today we're going to move on to rookie running backs. And we're going to start out with the most obvious, and we're not even going to spend a lot of time on it because if you did not take Saquon Barkley with the #1 pick, you're a moron. Like, you should not play. You should go play Farmville, or something. I don't know. But I don't want to hear, well, I've got Todd Gurley, Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, and Ezekiel. No, you draft him with the #1 pick, and then you trade him for whoever the heck you don't even have to trade him. Trade one of those guys for more draft picks for next year or for a guy like a top flight wide receiver. Because let's face it, if you have those guys and you're still picking first, you suck.
Yeah, I was just about to say, there's no reason you should be picking first.
Then you need to trade for Antonio Brown or somebody.
Hopkins.
Unless they traded into that position, but yeah, there's no reason they should be.
Right, but look, take Barkley. He looks good. He's obviously just doing everything right. He is this year's Fournette. He was last year's Todd Hurley or Ezekiel Elliott and Todd Hurley. Look, take him. So, but all right. We just had a dog walk through, so we're all kind of like, okay. All right, but let's move on to some other rookie running backs that have a lot of promise. Let's go to Derrius Guise or Geese or Goose or whatever. The juice.
The juice is loose.
I've heard it said so many different ways, but let's go to
pomegranate juice.
Right, but by the way, I have Pat and Clayton here with me. Hey,
we're here, guys.
It's not just a horrible host who really botched the beginning, but
it is.
Let's get in it.
Yeah, let's get TM. Chad's on here. Go .com.
But I love Geis or Goose, the juice, whatever you want to call him. I'm surprised he fell to the 3rd round. I can see why Washington took him. The value there, even though I was high on Perrine. They have Chris Thompson coming back from injury. But I think they felt like everybody. The value, I think he can come in at least the first 2 downs, be very productive. And then, hell, he can even, if you don't want to do him in the 20s, let him get the short yardage and goal line TD vulture.
He's going to establish himself pretty early on. I mean, I don't really see anybody really stopping him from taking that starting role. There may be a handcuffed position, for the first few weeks, but I would expect him to come out of the gates and be able to blast off. I mean, depending on where you have Penny and all that, he's going to go second in a lot of drafts, and I can't really argue that right now. I mean, there's other than the question marks of why did he fall, that's always going to pop up for a player. I mean, I know we have the that he wasn't showing up for meetings.
Yeah,
or,
he lied.
Yeah, he
and
showed up late.
They feel like he wasn't honest in meetings, but that doesn't have anything to do with the production on the field, I believe. So that's why he's still going to go second in your most fantasy, rookie draft.
But there could be something about that where this guy might show up late, and the NFL is not going to put up with it, especially a team that's got Perrine and they got Robert Kelly and Thompson. They'd be like, "Look, you're in the coach's doghouse."
Maybe, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to win football games, you let the best player play, and his talent, I think, is better than anybody else they have on that.
And that's a good point. I see both sides. I guess my rebuttal there would be the fact that he didn't land in New England, where he will be punished for showing up late. For sure.
Yes.
They'll sit him for 6 weeks for tying his shoes wrong.
Yeah.
And you won't get an answer. Be what's going on with Derrius Guise? We're moving on to Cincinnati. That'll be the
that's
answer.
exactly it.
Yeah.
But
he's going to come in the media about putting his best foot forward, and that's going to be it.
Right.
But
I like Guise because his legs don't stop.
Yeah.
He does not stop moving those legs. And now, Clayton, you gave a dynasty value. He's second pick in the draft, so you're very high on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, talent-wise, his size, his speed, I mean, that's going to be on the field producing. Like, even if they want to not use him in between the 20s because of Perrine and Kelly or whoever, he's big enough to get the short yardage and goal line carries.
He's gonna. And I go back to him. He should be a monster. I mean, he's going to be up there in a lot of drafts, second or third. And I'm not going to argue it. To me as a team owner, the question is will it affect it? I mean, if you don't think him showing up later where he went in the draft is going to affect him, then draft on.
Right. So I think I kind of agree. I think Derrius Guise is going to go high, but this next guy, I think he should go higher than Guise because I think he's without a doubt going to be starting, and that's Ronald Jones II, who's going to be in Tampa Bay.
Some Rojo.
See, that's the one that I venture to argue you almost want to take him second, in the draft. I value, Juice second, but I feel like, where he landed and the fact that he landed in the Buccaneers and all that makes a big difference because there's very little to no competition for that. And
we have a dog.
You want to pause it real quick, Jeff? Let me.
All right. Go ahead. I didn't pause. I'll edit that out.
Rolling. All right, but anyways, I mean, it's him landing in the Buccaneers. There's little competition there. I mean, they've kind of decided when everything with Doug Martin that what direction they're going. They're putting their eggs in his basket.
Yeah. I see that. I mean, I like some Rojo opportunity, but something even at USC they use someone else as more of the pass catching. So is he only going to be a first and second down running back? I mean, it's kind of unknown as far as his pass catching abilities. So I mean, is he only a first and second down running back? But opportunity wise, and situation, I can see number 2, and his value is probably going to go up as we get closer to the season and more drafts go on. But people are still like, oh, guys. But I see the Ronald Jones argument. I can't really argue against it. I mean, I thought Peyton Barber was decent last year. Showed some.
Yeah.
But you got to bring in the competition. So I mean, I see it. I can't really argue.
There's very little. I mean, like I said, and the things they're doing over there in Tampa Bay and all that, I mean, they're going to be, I think that's a great move for them. I mean, overall, they're moving and shaking and doing some good things. And
if you want to help Winston, you need a good running game.
You
You already have Mike Evans out there, in the elite wide receiver. Whether his stats showed it last year or not, Mike Evans is
just
a monster.
Every touchdown you throw will give you crab legs, and then you helped Winston.
and that's what it boils down to. I mean,
boils. Get it, crab legs.
And typically not, of course, not all scenarios. There's going to be a lot of argument against it, but typically for a good quarterback, a good high-producing quarterback, you usually have got a good, solid run game with it.
In this day and age, you need to have it. You can't be one-dimensional.
You can't.
No.
You're just not.
I'm sure we've said it on multiple podcasts, but that play action sets up, the run game sets up the play action, which sets up the deep threat.
Or even the pass game can set up the run game as well.
Yeah.
And I think Winston needs to show more this year, and that will help Jones, because they already have Evans and they have O.J. Howard and Brady. Like, they need that running game. So, I mean, Winston takes that step, or they want to establish more of a run game, which they need to be more successful.
And don't be fooled. Like, the combine can really make you love a guy. Like, like Barkley, like you're already in love with him. Then you see him at the combine, he just does it. He's just Mr. Perfect, does everything perfect. Ronald Jones had a bad combine, but a lot of scouts are saying that 8.4 40 run, whatever he ran, it was considered very slow. It's like, man, he was blown by. I mean, he was outrunning University of Texas cornerbacks going deep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, that's where it's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess when you get on the field, you just play better. Everything speeds up.
It boils down to pads, man. That's extra weight. I mean,
Right.
I guarantee you that there's very few wide receivers that go out there and run a 4.3 are going to go out there and run a 4.3 fully padded and helmet and all that. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. I think he's the exact opposite to where if he does, realistically, he maybe runs a 4.6, somewhere in there, maybe a 4, a little bit. But with pads on, I think he has the potential of maintaining that. Yeah.
I ran a 4.3 yesterday.
Nice. How'd that go?
Good.
It wasn't a 40.
It was 5 feet.
It was the 12.
No. I ran to 12 and like 6'3". All right, let's move on to someone everyone loves. He's a guy you would actually take even above Barkley. Some people are saying it, but he just went to a team where they're loaded. I'm, of course, talking about the old Chubster. It's like, why did he go to Cleveland? You cheer for this guy. You love this guy. What do you guys got?
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I the same thing I said about the quarterback situation over there too. I wish he would have landed anywhere but Cleveland. Mm-hmm. I would have really liked for him to land at the Giants. I felt like for them to go up, for the Giants to take Barkley, great move. I'm not arguing it. I just felt like for Chubb's career, he would have been better in a position like that, or there are the Bucks. But Cleveland, it's crowded. There's a lot going on back there. They're still, they still have Duke Johnson over there. I mean, it's crowded as crap, and Chubb does have the potential to move up, and take over more of that starting role. And I hope he does, but I don't see that really. I think it's gonna be handcuffed. They're gonna be doing the old New England, running 12 different running backs for a little while. I don't think we're gonna see a huge break off until week 4, week 5.
I mean, redraft wise, the value probably ain't where he should be.
No, I'd stay away from him. Redraft,
right, you want to go.
Do
but
you
Dynasty,
redraft?
Yeah, redraft.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But dynasty wise, he's still gonna be like. I'm not gonna. I've been high on Chubb since he was a freshman at Georgia, and he was backing up Todd Gurley.
I agree.
Nick Chubb
overshadowed.
Yeah, his talent. He's got the talent. Even they want to talk. We'll touch on Sony Michel later, but to me, Nick Chubb. I mean, Carlos Hyde. He's serviceable. He's okay, but I think Chubb's better, and I think, like you said, it'll be a handcuff situation this year. But we're talking long term.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
This is Dynasty.
So why not? If he's your guy. Why not take him at 3? You want to take him over at Juice. You can say Barkley, Rojo, and then Chubb at 3 if you want to.
And I was surprised to see Carlos Hyde go over there. I mean, you signed the deal where you can. It doesn't seem like the 49ers were going to partake. But
I think that's what made the Chubb draft pick interesting was how they signed Hyde.
Yeah,
that's what throws me off.
I couldn't agree more because they had Duke Johnson, Carlos Hyde. That's a decent tandem. I mean, Carlos Hyde, therefore in the San Francisco, Carlos Hyde was the bright spot for for fantasy. But with them signing Carlos Hyde, Duke Johnson still being there, and then bringing in Chubb, it's like, man, what do you guys do? I mean, granted they can get Nick Chubb cheap,
but you're building a roster.
Yeah,
you're building to compete. You're building depth. So I mean, I see what they totally overhaul.
It's Chubb is not a wasted pick, but it almost seems like a wasted pick because Hyde is young. He hasn't had injury issues, has he?
A little bit,
but nothing significant enough to stay away from him.
Here's a guy that's 6'1", 230. He's a beast. Duke Johnson, I believe he's on your team, Pat. He averaged
Casey has him. I
think he averages like 12 points because he does get those catches out of the backfield. Yeah. In a PPR league, and receiving yards count for your running backs. Yeah. Duke Johnson's he's not top 10, but.
He's there though.
He's a solid mid-round pick where you're like, oh, I got Duke Johnson.
Yeah. And he was injured all last year, which opened it up for Crowell. And that's where Crowell's value was. But see, Crowell is average at best, and the only reason I don't necessarily like Nick Chubb landing there is because I don't feel like he's going to be utilized early enough because every running back has shelf life. Look at AP. We love AP. AP produced. I mean, he was a great running back, and he produced for all of us. Well, mainly for me for
He was
years.
okay.
Yeah, but but there's a shelf life there.
But that's okay though if they don't use him. That's better dynasty wise.
Yeah, yes and no, but the age is still going to catch him.
I mean,
he's still going to age. I mean, but I just feel like if I'm not saying you have to start him right off the back, but if they go in there and they run a handcuff for, now the handcuffing may help, because it helps with durability, but it affects the fantasy value because he's not on the field. It's less opportunities. But
what if Nick Chubb goes Tanya Harding and takes out Carlos Hyde?
Well, that's a win-win.
We have a great article.
Yeah.
But I think like if your league,
Investigative journalism.
right? But if your league has a practice squad or taxi squad, Nick Chubb would be the perfect candidate because his talent's there.
Like if somebody took him over Barkley, I would have taken Barkley, but hey, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all, man. I think you just got stud.
I thought, NFL draft evaluation, Barkley this, Barkley that. I'll go on the record and say in my mind, Chubb was my number one running back. Like I said, I've been watching Chubb since he's been producing since he came in.
And see, it's the landing spot. The draft changed everything. It's like I said, if he would have landed in the Giants or the Bucks, to me, Nick Chubb jumps up to that one value.
Yeah.
He really does. But with Barkley landing in the Giants, it's like, well, that kind of, granted, he was kind of the number one in general anyways, but that just solidified it even further.
I just like saying Chubb.
Yeah, that's fine. You sneak it in as much
Nick
as you
Chubb,
can.
whatever. Yeah, Chubb. So, all right, well, let's go to his buddy. Speaking of his buddy, let's talk Sony Michel in New England.
You can start.
Yeah,
I
I think
we're gonna agree.
Yeah, we said the same thing.
Crap.
Yeah.
We said never trust a New England running back.
Yep.
We all say that, but the other counter, they never take a running back. First round, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't really care. They still got Rex Burkhead. They're stacked back there, and they switch out. Will he get his chances and his touches? Sure. Will he have a couple games? Sure. Are you gonna be able to rely on him? In my opinion, no.
And that's exactly. Well, I will go back to the day of Stephen Ridley. Stephen Ridley had a phenomenal, just game. Just a total, season-changing or career-changing season, and then they didn't use him at all.
Yeah.
And so from a dynasty standpoint, that was the absolute. I'm not saying the guy's not going to produce. I'm sure he's going to have opportunities to produce, but that was one of the because they're so over talented. It just to me, it's the worst spot he could have landed. Because they're so, and I'm not going to say the talent's going to be wasted. I'm sure they're going to utilize him, but again, I'm going to go back to it. Buccaneers, Giants, he jumps up there, and that's, or even, 49ers. There's plenty of places I felt like if he would have landed, I was like, you've got a debate of the top three, a true debate of the top three running backs because of where they landed.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were on that. They loved Sony Michel, but they saw him go to New England, and it was like,
damn it. That's exactly,
You know what, guys? I'm going to go the opposite. I don't know why. I was agreeing with y'all, but I'm sitting here listening.
Yeah.
And I agree with everything you say, but I just got a feeling. Because the last time they did take a guy high, he rode that guy. He rode him for full-on season. And I think another thing, I think those running backs in New England, I think they're always getting injured anyway.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't Belichick just put in a workhorse and just say, there, he's a 3-down back. I don't need him. I can rest him and put in the other guys. I can't argue with what you're saying because of the track record, but there was a time where Belichick put in Lawrence Maroney and had him going. That was his horse for a while.
Yeah, that's true too.
But his philosophy's changed since, and now he's
evolved, and I still stand by my point, but I'm gonna add a caveat to what you're saying, Jeff. Is the fact that he's cheap. He's cheap labor. He's not. He's a rookie. You've got him for 3. A minimum. Well, he's a first round pick, right? So you got him for 3. Extension 4. However it works. But to where you can afford to lose Rex Burkhead. For them that was really a low. With them not having any other needs, that was an easy grab for them and roll with it. And if he has a good season, then you just now you've got trade fodder for. Because they trade and they they do it all the time.
So dynasty value, y'all are saying take him, put him on your bench, or if you have a practice squad, put him on your practice squad.
If your draft pick lands there,
I'm saying take him and play him.
See, if depending on where your draft pick is, I would take him.
Having a stare down with Clayton right now.
But where Where are you
Where
going
would
to
you
take him in the
first
first round?
second round?
I mean, to me, I'm thinking maybe a later first
Because
Okay.
in a 12 team or 14 team, he might be there at the end. But I think in a 10 team, I think there's 10 players that I would expect more out of that I would probably take above him.
But again, Dynasty.
Dynasty as well.
Well, see, I would say first.
And they agree with my take.
I would say first, basically because of the
We had
value.
sound effects.
Because I don't trust. You can call me crazy, whatever, but I don't trust wide receivers in the first round. It's one of those things.
They have not produced
They,
these last couple
look
of years.
at the last few years.
I took Corey Davis at 4 last year or whatever. Yeah, 4.
I took Mike Williams early.
And
Even Amari Cooper. When I took Amari Cooper, I took him first round, and he really didn't start producing till year 3, which I understand that from a dynasty standpoint. But when you take a first round pick, you're expecting them to produce in the first, and I'm saying maybe late first season. I'm not saying because they're still a rookie, but I get it. But if I'm taking a Barkley with the first overall pick, that's some gum better start producing.
yeah, 1-1 better be there.
Right. Well, let's go to the opposite side of the map of the United States. Go all the way from the Northeast to the Northwest. I'm talking about Seattle drafted this guy. A lot of people had this guy going maybe top second, definitely a third-round pick. But they take Rashad Penny. What do you got on that, Clayton?
I love Rashad Penny. Seattle maybe. I thought it's not even really that bad of a landing spot. It's wide open. He can grab the job or at least be a handcuff.
No one's really proved themselves up there.
Exactly.
I'm high on CJ Procise, but he gets injured.
And like you can say like the Michel argument. They took him in the first. They took Penny in the first round. In the NFL, you don't take your first round pick if you're not expecting to use him and him to produce. So his value, in my opinion, would be higher than Sony Michel.
Oh.
You got a top. You don't like wide receivers in the first round, so Penny's got to be top 5-ish.
Yeah, he is. I mean, especially the landing spot.
Exactly.
Even though he fell a little bit later, a little bit further in the draft, or I guess in the first round, I still don't undervalue him. I mean, teams go with needs and all that, but it depends on the landing spot. To him landing in Seattle, to me, was I like it. I like it a lot. I can't say perfect, of course, but it's pretty darn close to being perfect because it's like you said, it's wide open. And look what what they did with Marshawn Lynch when he was there. I mean, the guy that's where beast mode started. And I'm not saying he's beast mode, but
a little bit different game.
Yeah, but there's potential there to where they are set up for the run game because Russell Wilson spread. Because he's spread.
He can catch out of the backfield too. I mean, he's elusive. Penny's a 3-down back. He's got that 3-down back potential. So I think he's. The only thing you can talk about is that Seattle offensive line's a little shaky.
It is. I mean, and that's. I think I've used the term quite a bit. But you want to get it to the point where Russell Wilson's running because he wants to, not because he has to. Right. And that's been the weakness there for a little while. But Russell Wilson still was a top ranked fantasy producer last year. I mean, he was up there with Tom Brady and all that.
They just gave him a weapon.
Yeah.
Penny can catch the ball, run the ball. So I think I love Penny.
He broke Marshall Faulk's records at San Diego State.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a different game. It's definitely a different game for
but
receivers.
You still got to respect it a little bit.
But it's not a different game for running backs. You still get tackled. I get it. It's definitely a passing league with rules, but still run the ball.
And that's exactly. I mean, it's the sport has gone passing in general, but for him to break that record, a Hall of Famer, he broke Marshall Faulk. I mean, that's impressive.
Why they pass more?
Just give myself a high five for my take there. That was
awesome. That's pretty good.
That was a good one. But it comes back to the point you brought up. It's a passing league. Even in college they pass more, but yet he's still breaking Marshall Faulk's record.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, I'm calling it the lucky penny because I honestly think he's going to have a great year. I mean, he's up there.
Invest in the penny stock.
I would love for him to. I would love for him to fall to me in our rookie draft.
He won't.
I would love for him to fall to me in our rookie draft in the 4th round because I traded about.
He's top 5. I mean, I can't. And again, it boils down to
people needs and wants.
Wants and all that. But I mean, that's where Michel, Sony Michel landed. It bumped him out of that.
Yeah.
You know, he may still be up there from some place, and I'm not going to argue that. But for me, it bumped him out of my top 5. You know, put him maybe in the 6 or 7 spot. If he's still there, you know, if that's pick, then I'm taking him. But at the same token, he fell drastically for me.
Yeah, but I'd probably take, you know, let's say if I'm sitting there, I pick at 6. And let's say, you know, the top guys are gone and I'm looking at Michel and let's say DJ Moore, I'm going to take DJ Moore personally.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I don't trust New England running backs and like, you know.
So let me get a quick answer from you guys, and we'll move on to our next guy.
Let's do it.
So we're saying Penny, Ronald Jones, and Guise. Take them. Where Sony and Chubb, just
I'm taking Chubb over Sony.
Oh, I'll take Chubb over Sony, but
yeah, I mean,
compared to the other guys, Guise, Jones II, and Penny, like y'all are saying, look, possibly top 5 to 10, but then Sony and Chubb maybe 10 plus.
Okay, so you have Barkley at 1.
Yeah, we're not even gonna bring Barkley in.
Yeah.
Right. So you're talking about 2 through 5, and you would have Rojo in the 5.
Let's say it's 12 team, 2 to 6. You're putting Guise, Jones, and Penny in that 2 through 6 range.
That's right. That's where I'm looking.
Yeah,
And then I think Chubb
would be at 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I would take Chubb at 6.
Okay, but Sony's
yes,
further back.
Further
Sony.
back.
Yeah, Sony is. He would be to me a later first round pick. I mean, people are going to take him sooner.
Okay,
and
so
that's
y'all are
fine.
still saying all these guys are a first round pick.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I am. I mean, Sony's really the only one that's later followed, but that's me because I don't like wide receivers in the first round unless it's an Antonio Brown or a Mike
But
Evans.
they don't. I mean, Odell's not out there right now. You know what I mean? Like, getting burned on wide receiver in the first round. So I mean, I get what you're saying. Like,
I've got a bad taste in my mouth personally. I mean, but some people have hit. They've hit. Leave it alone.
Did you say that because of? Okay, never mind.
see, I pick at 6 and
You didn't say it
10.
because of Odell Beckham, did you?
So I mean, let's say if I'm sitting there at 10 and
Leave it alone.
if Sony's available when I pick at 10, it would be hard for me. Like,
Pass him up.
Yeah.
no, it'd be hard for me to take him. Like, I get the running back and the value, but at 10, Pat would probably take him because he don't value wide receivers.
Yeah.
Me at 10, there's probably a receiver or 2.
Right.
I'd probably take at 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like
Based on team needs and everything.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
and see, like I'm picking later in the draft. I'm pick 10, I think.
Later,
first round.
11.
Yeah. It's
10, 11,
well,
12,
this year. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm later in the draft. See, to me, I wouldn't mind taking a wide receiver that late.
Right.
But I'm not gonna burn up a pick. If I had the 4th or 5th pick, I'm not burning up that pick on a wide receiver.
Me neither.
All right.
I mean, I did get it with Amari Cooper, but at the
think he
same
was productive.
But at the same token, I picked up Stephon Diggs off the waiver wire.
Right.
So I mean, that's something that
But I mean, if you look last year, Kareem Hunt was, a late round pick.
Yeah.
And he was the leading rusher. So
Okay, well, let's move on to Detroit. And we got Kerryon Johnson there, running back out of Auburn. You two guys were throwing around stats in our preparation for this. So, Clayton, I believe you were the one that brought it up first. So why don't you go ahead and talk about Kerryon Johnson?
Well, the thing that intrigues me is he's got the talent, but it's more of how bad Detroit has been. What's the stat? They haven't had a 100-yard rusher since 2013. Reggie Bush.
100-yard rusher or 1,000-yard?
No, they have not had a 100-yard rusher, and they also haven't had 1,000-yard rushers in the same year. It was Reggie Bush.
Dude, that's like 60 yards.
60 yards a game. That's how bad, and they upgraded their offensive line this year. They drafted Ragno, the center out of Arkansas or whatever. So, I mean, they're building. They want to run the ball. Yes, Amir Abdullah's there, but how long are we going to wait? Oh, this could be the Abdullah's year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He shows signs, and he gets injured, then he doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got value, but I think the opportunity is there for Kerryon Johnson. I'm not saying he's your top 10, but, let's say I'm sitting there in the second round, or maybe if I wanted to take a flyer, as a luxury for my pick. Like on my team right now, I got Kamara and Hunt, and I got running back depth. But if I'm sitting there at 12 in our 12, Kerryon Johnson's, that's intriguing to me. I like his opportunity. I like what he's bringing. They want to establish the run game. They know they need to run the ball. Amir Abdullah hasn't done it. He's been injured. Who else?
But they signed LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's
and that changes a little bit.
Pat talk.
Well, to me, what scares me about it is Amir Abdullah couldn't produce over there.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the tough part because, like you said, they did upgrade it, and that Detroit. I'm getting to the point now where obviously I can't really say getting to the point now because it's 2013, but you can't trust the run game at Detroit. How many times have we been burned by taking a Detroit? Now, hey, we've done great on wide receivers, Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, and Megatron. I mean, come on, dude. I mean,
I can't even think of his real name. I think it's Megatron.
And
Calvin.
I'm gonna talk about it more later. You know, probably next week. You know, when we get into wide receivers. But you know, I just they've gotten away in the pass game, and that's what's working for them, and they have been missing the run game. The upgrades on the offensive line help. But Johnson, I'm hoping Johnson is the answer. That's what they just haven't had the talent there to be able to move the ball forward. But we're gonna see. I'm interested. And I'm intrigued.
That's what I'm saying. It's an intriguing. It's open. You know.
And I was happy with it. I actually had him high.
A lot of people did
until they brought Kerryon Johnson because that changed the whole scenario.
It just destroys your soul when you really like a guy and then you just see. It's like, because Casey in our league was like, Nick Chubb at 3. I'm like, really? What if it goes about 10? He's like, man, I love Nick Chubb, though, man. I really love Nick Chubb. And now, like last time I was talking to Casey, like, man, I don't think I'm going to take Nick Chubb at 3.
Let him fall, baby. Let him fall.
It's the same thing, Kerryon Johnson.
Well, and
you bring in LeGarrette Blount, who is what, like 2-3 years removed from 16, 19 TDs, something like that?
Yeah, but he even had a pretty decent year last year in New England. It's like he's
Well, the Eagles.
The Eagles, that's right. But he's not – I don't think it's bad. I just think they want to run the ball, and they're two different runners, two different styles.
And it's a tempo change and all that. And I think with Blount coming in, he is older.
Yeah.
You know, and
short yardage.
Yardage, third down. You know, get that. You know, fighting for those tough yards. But I don't think you bring him in as your answer.
No.
He's the thunder. Kerryon's the lightning.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do, and you handcuff them, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with rookies being handcuffed in general for the first year, but I really want to see them start breaking out. You know, that second year.
Of course, I mean, like. I don't do redraft anymore. I'll be honest.
I don't like redraft.
It's boring. I don't care. Don't talk to me about it. Whatever. Think what you want. So when I'm going to draft, I'm not always. Yes, I want them to produce. Like when we made that trade last year for Kamara on draft day, he started producing, but I was still leaving him on my practice squad, you know, because I didn't want to make other cuts and make sure. But then he just kept producing. So same deal with I would have him until he produced like. He would have to show me. Like, I'm not expecting that to happen the first year. That's just where I'm at, you know, and with my team right now.
Are you saying Kerryon Johnson's and that's Alvin Kamara?
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, you never know because honestly, Alvin Kamara, we didn't know he was going to be Alvin Kamara.
No,
you know
like
what I mean?
said,
I mean, as much research and we do and stuff like that, I don't think anybody could have predicted.
I knew he was good.
You can predict it, but you don't know. You're not in there with the head coach. You don't know.
See, I think I picked him up.
I'm in there.
I drafted him in like the second or third round or something.
Well, yeah, and then I think Joe took Kareem Hunt in the third.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they both fell, and that's how, not that I value, but it's like, well, if he's there, I'm taking him.
Yeah.
The same thing with Marlon Mack. I took Marlon Mack late.
Where does Kerryon Johnson rank in the draft? Is he top? Is he first round? Top 10? First round? Second?
I think before Blount got there, he would have gone in the first, but I think that scared people away, and I think he's going to go in the second. But if he's your guy, like I said, if he's my guy, I want him for the future. I'll take him at wherever I want, depending on who's available.
Let me put it to you this way: I believed in Jay Ajayi for 2 years and 7 weeks. I just needed 2 years, 8 weeks, and I would have been fine.
Dude, that's how it goes, man. To me, on my standpoint on wide receivers, he's first round, late first round, maybe early second. But I mean, he probably would have been, maybe top 10, honestly.
Yeah.
If LeGarrette Blount hadn't come in.
Yeah, but now he might early second, mid second, maybe just depending.
I think he's going to fall in a couple of leagues.
But he could be a solid pickup.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think very solid.
Oh yeah.
That's what you got to find. That's what wins leagues. You get the pickups, these late round guys. Some of these guys might not even be drafted because
Exactly. Well, let's get in our DynastyWise.com van and drive on down to the Mile High City. We're talking Denver. This is really intriguing me, Clay. We were talking about it on our prep. Royce Freeman, the Oregon Duck, comes to the Broncos team. Clayton, what do you got on Royce Freeman?
I love the dude. They already cut C.J. Anderson. He only has to beat out Booker, which I used to be high on Booker, but he hasn't
Booker
shown
T?
Devontae Booker.
Oh,
and he hasn't
wrestler?
he hasn't shown what we thought he would show. Freeman's second all-time leading rusher in the Pac-12, all-time leading rusher at Oregon. The dude's talented, and with Case Keenum, he had his one good year, but even being from Houston, you can't say we're all expecting him to be an elite.
I do.
Okay, Jeff expects Case Keenum to be an elite quarterback. Anyways, but I
Not
think
elite, but I think he's a better quarterback people give him.
No, I know I love Case,
But let's we're not talking that.
Yeah.
We're talking Royce.
No, but Royce, I
Case.
love the potential.
ties them together.
You're a rookie.
Yeah, of course.
He would rank above Kerryon Johnson for me, draft wise.
Yeah.
I would say, and probably even Chubb just based on situation. I think with only Booker, even if you don't really beat him out, they're going to split time. That's more than what you can probably say for Chubb at this moment.
Yeah. With them letting go of C.J. Anderson, they made it clear that they saw something. That they obviously were going to roll. Probably more than likely, Booker being your RB1 right now. But I mean, they've been hurting for for a good run game and all that. And Case going up there, that's going to open up the run game and open up receivers and all, which is great. But without an established run game, but I am curious though because Keenum's had the run support before.
Yeah.
And he hadn't really produced as much. But I feel like that's a winning situation. I just even if they handcuff him, Freeman, goes off, and there's potential.
He's a big boy.
There's potential for both those running backs to
He's
go
a
up.
big boy.
Freeman's
How big is he?
Oh,
Do you know off the top of
not
your
off
head?
the top of my head, but he's not as small. But
He's not a small
he's
guy.
not a small guy.
He's not like that. What, Nyheim Hynes? What's his name? And
He's
Colts.
He's 5'11", 235.
That's a big boy.
Yeah,
But he moves. He's got
that's a wildebeest, man.
But he's
That's a
got he can
bowling
move.
ball.
He
Yeah.
can move for his size. He's got the speed, the
It
elusiveness.
seems like the big backs are coming back. Like all these guys are kind of big. I mean, Chubb is 230. Sony's like 225. Geis is like 220, 215.
I think they're trying to take advantage of them going smaller with
Well,
that
the-
extra safety instead of that linebacker.
Well,
Yeah.
and look at the size of your defensive tackles.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
DN,
yeah.
some of them are
Yeah.
270.
Yeah, I mean even
260 even.
yeah, I mean JJ Watt's a good sized feller, but he's not he's not fat. He's
Yeah.
I mean the days of
He's fat. I saw him the other day and I was like, pinch an inch, JJ. Got him.
But
and he said, "Can I come on Dynasty Wise?" I said, "No."
denied.
You're not a real doctor.
I'll put you in the drawing. But that's what I'm saying. Those, I mean, they are getting a lot smaller on defensive, the defensive line. So that does open up to where you have a 235-pound pack running at a, 300-pound. That's not as much of a difference as 205.
Yeah.
That 30 pounds makes a big difference.
It's gonna have some thud behind him
Yeah.
whenever
Yeah.
you're gonna have to wrap him
He's
up.
got the size and strength to get past that defense tackle's arm tackle because
Yeah.
obviously you're hoping your guard's doing his job.
Right. Yeah.
No, like he owes me $50. Go at it.
To me, I think that handcuff up there, that tandem or that duo, whatever you want to call it, they've got the most potential to really have a good year. I mean, outside of Ingram and Kamara, they have potential. I think now that they've got film on both those guys, I think their defensive scheme is going to change. But I think with Booker up there and with Freeman, there's a lot of potential. That's to me, that's a Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara size difference, obviously, but that's a winning situation where they're not ready for that 1-2 punch yet. I don't see it in that
I
division.
don't
being ready.
see the Broncos' philosophy using a 1-2 punch. I don't know about their new coach, but what was the running back? Because they thought they had their future with Asswater and was it Ball? Who was the running back?
No, Monte Ball.
Monte Ball.
Monte Ball was way before.
But who was the? I can't remember the one guy.
They had Anderson and
the guy before him, and he just never produced. They were like so excited. about
Hillman.
him.
Was it Ronnie Hillman?
No.
Oh, yeah, I have to go back and look at that.
I'm not. Why am I asking you? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But so we're high on Freeman. He's first round.
Freeman's first round.
Pat. Why'd I yell your name?
Yeah, I mean, but I think he's going to fall.
This is obviously people. We're going to be doing other podcasts where we're going to be talking running backs in general as way for like official training camps.
Yeah,
Right,
you
yeah.
know, once that breaks down,
But either way, I
everything
mean,
could change.
as it stands right now, I mean, to me, I think he's going to fall. I mean,
He'll fall.
I'll say it again, you know, wide receivers, blah, blah, blah. So he would probably be in my first round. But honestly, I think he's going to fall. I think people are going to be able to snag him up a little bit later on because there are some high-valued wide receivers. And so, you know,
You got 4 high name quarterbacks in this draft too.
Yeah.
That people might want to take. I don't see a lot of people taking them.
A lot of people in one quarterback leagues don't take quarterbacks early.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fall a lot. I mean,
You need
Superflex,
your quarterback
yeah,
to produce in fantasy football.
Superflex, your quarterbacks are probably going to be the first 5 picks.
If you're in a superflex and you see one on the street and you tell me you're in a superflex, I'm gonna bite your nose off. I hate the superflex. I can't stand it.
I just joined my first one this year.
Oh,
so
you suck.
they're just
it's different.
yeah.
Yeah, you're starting 2 quarterbacks.
It's unique. I mean, there's only so many of them too. I mean, if you get a Drew Brees and a, you know, Russell Wilson,
Dude, that's what I believe my first picks.
Yep, boom,
First
boom.
2 picks would be like Drew Brees, blah 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 blah.
No, I tried to get Baker because I didn't have a pick in the first round in the rookie draft, and I offered the dude like a first and a second. I was gonna go to 2 first. You know, I knew I had to overpay. He goes, "It's gonna take 3 first rounds." I was like, "Yeah, we can't talk anymore."
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, no.
I don't care. He already has. I don't know. It was dumb.
But I think to me, Royce Freeman is back to that. I think he is going to fall back to. I'm thinking late first, early second is probably where he's going to. I think that's where he's going to fall in most places.
Royce Freeman is not a name for the average person. I really wasn't thinking about him until Clayton brought him up, and then like it immediately triggered in my head. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then Kerryon Johnson is just a guy who is he doesn't seem to stand out for anything. Like he's not the fastest, he's not the strongest, he's not this, he's not that, but he's solid. So I think the last 2 guys we talked about, Kerryon Johnson and Freeman, they could probably slide. Do your homework, of course. I mean, doing your homework's listening to us. But an article I wrote, you got to trust your gut. And Clay, you've said it, and Pat, I know you believe in it. You said earlier, get your guy. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anything says. If your gut says that guy's going to be it, take him. It's your team. He turns out to be the guy. You can throw beer in everyone else's face. If he's not your guy, hey, you took a chance.
Yeah. Not everybody hits in
It's
this draft.
fantasy football.
And Royce Freeman was taken, I think it was the 71st pick overall. Don't let that throw you.
Right.
You know, I mean, because, look at, it's the NFL. There's value in most all places.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, like I like Freeman. He's a first round pick for me.
He's definitely like Ronald Jones. I mean, he's in a spot where he does have a lot of potential to be the guy. So I like that about him. But let's get ready to wrap this podcast up. But is there anyone that you just want to throw out? Just maybe a short little statement about a guy. Is there any of you guys got?
Hynes,
yeah, that's what I was actually gonna. I'll let you take it, just because I don't think Marlon Mack's proven himself yet.
You should trade him to me.
I love Marlon Mack. We were high on him at the draft. We remember when you made that pick. We were like,
Both of us.
we were like,
Damn it.
I was hoping he would fall. A little bit later, I think I picked 1 or 2 after that. But it's not that I don't. It's just he hasn't proven it. So I think Hynes is going to have a time. coming. The Colts, they were not a very good football team.
No.
And so they cut Frank Gore, so they're open. And I see in the league a lot more teams are using 2 running backs at least.
Going that way.
So even if Mac's the guy, Hynes is talented, and your pass catcher, your smaller lightning, or whatever you want to call it. That's
He's
where I
like
see.
Tariq in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, he can come in and you can throw a screen. He can go 80 yards.
He changes it up,
Yeah.
or you can put him out wide and still have Mac in the backfield. It changes their offense. I'm not saying let's run up there and get him at number 5.
Right.
I'm just saying I'd keep my eye on him in kind of like a sleeper situation.
All right. Pat?
I gotta go. And I'm gonna butcher his name, and I apologize.
That's
but,
all right.
but I think it's Kalen Ballage.
Kalen Ballage.
Kalen
yes.
Ballage. Yeah,
Close enough.
That's my guy.
I tell you, is it? Did I take him?
No, that's fine.
Well, because I like him landing in Miami and all that. Now he didn't blow it out of the water in college. I mean, he had a couple all-purpose yards. He did pretty good, but he's 6'2", 220. He's a good size.
Yeah, he's like 230.
That's a little guy.
Yeah,
that's a little guy.
I'm sure he's packing on the extra meat, but yardage wise, and all that. But the fact that he had 46, 56 receptions in some of his seasons and all that, the dude's being that big and be able to catch out of the backfield is dangerous.
Yeah.
At that size too.
Yeah, I mean that's because that means he's not starting from a dead stop. That means he's already starting to open up his sprint sometimes in his strides. That's the momentum.
And he
to carry
ran
him.
the same time Penny did at the combine.
See
4.45, 4.46, something like that.
That's intimidating, man. In Miami,
that's scary, is what that is.
And that might be, and they maybe they responded to New England taking Sony Michel. And they said, all right, well, we got to take somebody too. I mean, I'm not sure. That's just pure speculation. But I like him. I feel like he's got potential to be a monster. I think he's going to fall in a lot of leagues. And I think he's a pretty significant sleeper. I think you'll be able to pick him up on the cheap. And I honestly think, my theory on him, in all honesty, is I think you're going to be starting him probably week 6, week 7. I think he'll be, if he's, you may be able to pick him up on the cheap and put him on your practice squad to see how it goes. But I think he's going to be offered. I know for sure he should be on at least your bench by week 6, week 7. Theory.
Being a Drake owner, F you. But no, I mean, I see it. I mean, I can't argue. I got Drake. I picked him off the waiver wire, holding on to him just because it's open.
Yeah,
it's open competition.
Yeah.
Like I said, the 2 running back thing. It's the same argument. Your sleeper right there, and if he falls to me at the right spot, I'm gonna take all the running backs. Why? Everybody wants a running back.
Yeah, and you can always trade him. And I'm gonna knock on wood because but it's almost, I hate saying this about him, but he's almost too big to fail. I mean,
right?
it's just, he's just a monster. I mean, I'm real big on him.
Well, I definitely, Kalen Ballage was my guy. We covered him. So, anyway, let's go to the closing. Pat, you got anything to say? Anything to plug?
Not yet. I mean, I know we're still working on a few of our social things that we're going to work on. Hopefully that'll change. We'll get some of that stuff kicked up and going. I know we're going back to 11 Below again. We'll do another one live.
Awesome.
But other than that, I mean, just check us out at dynastywise.com and appreciate the fanage that you guys have been giving us and all that. And keep checking us out, man. If you send us your questions. And
shirt giveaway coming soon.
Yeah, we've actually, we do have shirts now. We have the Dynasty Wise shirts, and the other shirts are actually being printed. Okay. So those will be out soon. But yeah, appreciate you guys, and look for those.
Clayton.
Follow us on Twitter at DynastyWise_FF for all your needs, and like our page on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube and our website.
I think it's strange that our Twitter guy is a Amish guy. I just don't know how it works.
Well, I figure if I close one eye.
Well, there you go. That's a good way to see it. That's all right. So,
or not see it.
All right, folks. I want to parrot what Pat said. Thank you so much for listening. And please, again, on the YouTube page, if you listen to this, please leave your questions, comments, dynastywise.com. Check us out there, and we appreciate you. And next week, we'll be talking rookie wide receivers. Thanks again for listening. Oh, where's our music?